Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, As-salatu was-salamu ala ashraf al-anbiya'i wal-mursaleen, wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa ahli baytihi wa man ittaba'a sunnati ajma'in. Fa'awuzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Alhamdulillah, we will begin with the last juz of the Surah Al-Baqrah, the third juz, which is started, and today we will begin from the ayah number 255, which is also known as the Ayat al-Kursi, which is considered to be the brain and the peak and the climax of the Quranic verses. This is the most important verse which we listen. In this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's attributes are described. There are many things spoken about this Ayat al-Kursi. To make a dua or recite it after Salah, Allah will give the shade of His Arsh on the Day of Judgment, or protect a person. Also, there is a very well-known hadith about it, that once Prophet ﷺ made Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu to be the security guard for the Baitul Mal, which is the state food pantry of the Medina, and so that nobody would steal the food for the needy and poor. So when he was at night time there guarding, he felt a little sleepy, and when he got a little doze off on the sleep, he suddenly heard the noise inside, and he woke up and went in and found a person who was stealing food. And he grabbed him. He said, "I'm going to punish you. I'm going to bring you to Prophet. You're stealing food for the people, which is a crime." So he goes, "I'm very needy and I'm poor. My kids are suffering and I need some food. So I thought I'll take some." He begged and pleaded and asked for pardoning, and he let him go. But he said, "Don't come in next time." And so next morning, Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu woke up and he told Prophet that what happened last night. Second night, same thing happened, and then he left this time. Again, Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu let him go. The third time, Prophet, when Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu told Prophet second time, Prophet says, "Don't worry, he will come in tonight again." He said, "Ya Rasulullah, if he comes in again, I'm definitely not going to let go of him, and I'm going to punish him and I'm bring him to you." So Prophet says, "Let's see." So the third night, same thing happened. So this time, Abu Hurairah was very, very strict with him, and he said, "No, I'm not going to let you go of this, because this is the third time you have come and done the stealing of the food of the needy and poor, and that's not appropriate." And so there's the person, he goes, "If you let go of me tonight, I will tell you a verse of the Quran which will protect you from Satan and any harm coming from him." So he says, "What?" So he taught him Surah Ayat al-Kursi. He said, "If you recite Ayat al-Kursi at night time before you go to bed, and if you read it 3 times, Allah will protect you from every kind of harm and evil coming in your way." So Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu let him go. The Prophet ﷺ, when next morning, Prophet was smiling, and he says, "Abu Hurairah, what happened last night?" He says, "Ya Rasulullah, you were right. He showed up again, and I grabbed him. I was not going to let go of him, but he told me something that if I tell you a secret of Quran, the most important secret and protection from the shaitan, you let me go." So he told me the Ayat al-Kursi. So Prophet says that he was a liar, but he told you the truth. So this is one of the thing about Ayat al-Kursi. It's very beautiful, and it is one of the most important words of the Quran, and it describes the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's personal attribute and personal being. Listen to the Ayat al-Kursi. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, verse number 255. We are starting today.
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.
Allah, there is no God but He, the living, the all-sustaining. Neither dozing overtakes him nor sleep. To him belongs all that is in the heavens and all that is on the earth. Who can intercede with him without his permission? He knows what is before them and what is behind them, while they encompass nothing of his knowledge, except what he wills. His kursi chair extends to the heavens and to the earth, and it does not weary him to look after them. He is the All-High, the Supreme.
So this verse describes the person being of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Allah. None is worthy of worship except Him. He is Hayy, He is the living, and Al-Qayyum, the one who maintained the existence of everything. That Al-Qayyum means that He is the one who created and He gave life to everything, and Himself is alive, but He gave sustenance of them. In other words, He maintained the existence, and He is Himself is existing, and He is eternally existing, and He maintained the existence of everything what is between heavens and earth, or whatever is known and unknown to the humanity or anybody. And He does not get slumber or tired or weak or sleepy or dozing off, and doesn't need a sleep. So this is one of the attributes of God. God does not get tired or sleepy or does not need a sleep. To Him belong all what is between, all what is known in the heaven and earth, and what is in between them. And who can intercede with Him except that His will? So this is what it is. Nobody can intercede. As the Muslim, we believe the prophets and the angels and those who are righteous, pious people, the saintly people, they can intercede by the will of Allah. Allah will give him the izn, but nobody else. These idols, the false gods, the created, crafted structures cannot intercede except by the leave of Allah. Anyone Allah allows, and those will not be allowed. The one who will allowed are the angels, the prophets, the righteous, pious people, the believer, the faithful, the memorizer of the Quran, the one who did the Hajj, the one who did the battle jihad. So those people can intercede. The parents will intercede for the children. So this is everybody gradually, and the status will be there. He knows what is in front, what is in the future, what is in the past, what has been done, and what is going to happen. And nobody can encircle or encompass His knowledge. Allah's knowledge is over all, and He does whoever He wants. Nobody can know it illa bima sha'a, except that what He wills. So He informs the prophets and the messengers and the angels and human, whatever He wants to give the knowledge. So what we have knowledge is with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and His throne and His kursi is the chair, is like a sitting place, but Allah does not need a place to sit. It's symbolically that where He maintains the garment from His creation of everything. So it's encompassing everything what is between heavens and earth, and nobody can look after Him. وَلَا يَعُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا. He is the one who is guarding everything. Nobody can break through His guard and protection. وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ, and He's highest and the most supreme. These are the personal attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should make this dua, this ayah after every salah, as a sunnah that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then before we go to bed, and we should do it in the day so that Allah will protect us from shaitan. So nothing can protect us from insect or virus or other thing, but this dua can protect us from anything which is harmful to the human. Next verse is about the people when the Muslims were in Medina, and Arabs used to have a tradition that when they did not have children, they would make a promise to Allah, or if they have some debt or some loan to the Jewish people of the tribes living in Medina, they were the 7 of their castles, so they would make their children to be Jewish Arab, or what you call. They will give them as adopted children, and they will raise them as a scholar. So when they were exiled from Medina after the battle, which we'll talk about in the future reference, so they wanted their children not to live with them as a Jew. They want them to be Muslims. And then there are many other stories about reference that a man had 2 sons who were Christian, and when they came to meet him in Medina, he had become Muslim. He wanted them to be Muslim. So he said, I'm not going to talk to you, or I'm not going to let go of you. He put them in home and locked them up that till you become Muslim. So Quran was was revealed that La ikraha fi din, there's no compulsion in faith. So this is something we should know, that in Islam we do not force. Islam is a da'wah, is an invite, is a invitation to come to become a Muslim or to come to the path of Allah. So Muslim is what? It's just believe in one God without partners. So this is the verse is elaborated in these verses.